gonna just go ahead and get started. We'll do a trickle in as they trickle in. So if I can get all the panelists to the black couch right here, all the panelists to the black couch. Everyone else just kind of get in this pit right here. Oh, you're good, man.
Appreciation.
Get in close, friends. Get in close. So you gotta scoot in just a little bit because y'all will be sharing a mic. I'm just gonna have you there. Oh shit. All right. Thank you all for coming out to Elemental Workshops once again. All of you guys are familiar faces that we have. Hopefully we get some more faces in here tonight, but that's all we have right now. So let me just introduce the panel real quick. So right here we have DJ Cuddy. DJ Cuddy's been DJing for 23 years. He's an open format DJ, tour DJ, and radio DJ. He's toured with DJ Khaled, opened up for many concerts.
Khalid.
Oh, Khalid, sorry. Reading is fundamental, y'all. He went on tour with Khalid, opened up for many concerts and festivals, pool parties in Vegas and Phoenix. You can find him at Club Neat, booked mostly out of town, towns like Dallas, Phoenix, Vegas, Fort Lauderdale, so he moves around. He's also a producer. He's got some plaques and awards from producing and DJing. One more time, let's hear it for DJ Cuddy. All right, sitting right next to him, we have DJ Nico Marie. She's been DJing. Yeah, we all know Nico, yeah. She's been DJing for 10 years or more. She curates some of her own events, but she does a lot of cool gigs around the city. Open up for a couple artists and work with the Jordan brand a little bit. And you can also find her right here at Sophie's. Let's hear it for DJ Nico. All right. Next to her, we have DJ Mahf. Mahf has been DJing for 22 years. He's a hip hop turntablist, open format DJ, producer, Red Bull Freestyle champion, and winner of a dozen STL Music Awards. Former DJ for the St. Louis Blues and two-time Bud Light official Super Bowl DJ. That's really dope. Groups and bands that he's worked with are the Earthworms, My Posse, Indie Ground, Basement Sound System, whoop, Steady P, and Motown on Mondays. You can also find him at the Midwestern, Takashima, Platypus, Maryland House, and a bunch of places around the city. Let's hear it for DJ Mahf. All right, next to him we have DJ VThom. VThom has been DJing for 11 years as a turntable enthusiast, as he calls himself. You're a turntablist, stop it. He's also in Basement Sound System, the DJ Collective, 24 Scientist as well. He started on an iPad playing in clubs and was called out to use turntables. I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Of course, Jerry.
He's played bars, Loudfest, Growfest, 2022 Music at the Intersection, Dre Day, Motown on Mondays, Fresh Produce Beat Battles, Gents Fashion, DJ Battles, including DMC, and some international tours. He's also open for Big Crit, Ghostface Killer, The Lox, Currency, Busta Rhymes, and more. And in 2019, he was awarded Hip Hop DJ of the Year at St. Louis Underground Music Awards. Let's hear it from DJ VThom. All right. And last but not least, we have DJ Coleman. At this point, he's been DJing about 10 years, but he's mostly in private events and weddings. His enterprise is definitely in weddings and in the business side of things. He's built a multi-op DJ company that's expanded from St. Louis to Nashville, then scaled it down to go solo so that he can have more time and freedom, which I understand the man. He also loves all things business, branding, people, and music, and he's happy to help anyone here. So he's gonna be a good option for a lot of the business questions. Let's hear it for DJ Cole. All right. So we only have Cuddy for a little bit because he might have to dip out a little early. And Casey, I know you have to dip out a little early. Do you remember your questions, or do you want me to just kind of read it off?
I do.
Here you go.
Oh, I have the mic. Okay. So I think my question was, while saving up for industry standard equipment, turntables and mixer, and you want to learn how to scratch, and the controller is just not cutting it. Do you recommend something like a portable turntable to help with that, if that's a worthy investment? And then also, what's your favorite DJ headphones?
Straight from gear.
You started off.
I think that's a solid investment.
Yes.
Indubitably. You will definitely grow from that, and you would actually be able to use that in the future. Whenever you are able to get a mixer, you can use that portable turntable too, and you can literally play it anywhere you want. So if you're out in the park, you can pull it out, start scratching. You know what I'm saying? Wherever you are, you know. So I think that's a dope purchase and a smart purchase.
Agreed.
I have an extra one if you are looking for one.
Oh.
Yeah. And what was the second part of the question? Favorite headphones?
Yeah.
I used to love the old Techniques headphones, but they don't really make those anymore. The big cans, you remember those big silver cans? I've been using the Pioneer ones. I think you can find them at Guitar Center or whatever. They're pretty solid. What do you like?
The OG Beats by Dre. I'm talking about like the OG metal Robocops. Like, yeah, those are sturdy and dope.
Anyone else have anything to add to that?
I also like the Pioneer headphones. I had Sony headphones first, and they, like, a lot of headphones will tear up really fast. That's my issue. They'll start, you know, that your part will start, they'll start tearing up. So I like the Pioneer ones. They're pretty sturdy.
Turntable part, great investment. Definitely gotta have that. As far as headphones, I use these right here. I like light headphones. When you see me DJing, a lot of people be, on my head because I don't use headphones, because the producer side of me, I know how to read the wave. I know where to snare at, the bass drum, the chords and stuff like that. So I just match the wave most of the time, and I'm faster the way I DJ. I'm flying through records because the attention span of the audience is like, that's my song. Whatever. That's my song. For my crowd, I can't speak for everybody else, but these V-Motor, they light. I need some light on my head, but they also, sound good and feel good on my ears, so that's mine.
Cole, did you have anything to say to that?
I would say, I go through headphones like nobody's business. So for me, like, it's my favorite headphones are the ones I'm using right now. And especially doing like so many mobile events, like just a lot of wear and tear. I think get something quality, get something that's well built and has decent reviews. Obviously, that kind of goes with buying anything really at all. But like audio wise, just whatever you can hear with. And I think it's also to your preference as well. I think we're about half and half on guys that like heavy and light. So, just do what you dig.
All right.
Yeah, real quick. I also think it matters if, how you wear your headphones. Like, do you mix with them on your head while you're DJing? Do you do one ear cup on, one off? Me, I developed a really bad habit when I was a kid where I wear them around my neck and I do like the cueing, and I have a shitload of neck problems for the last 20 years. So yeah, it just depends on your style of how you actually manipulate them and use them on stage, I guess.
All right. So I have a list of questions. Does anyone else have any questions that they'd like to ask the panel before I go into mine? Anything off the top of your head? All right, maybe Jayla's got some.
Yeah.
Every page is full too.
Okay, so what do you base the software you use off of? Like, what makes you use the software that you use to DJ?
Well, Serato is what I learned on. So like when I was first being introduced to DJing, the people who taught me were working with Serato. And yeah, so that's my preference.
I use them, I ain't gonna say all, but I use quite a few. I use Torque, didn't like it. Virtual DJ, I can get down with the virtual DJ, especially on the upgrades that they did. But it seemed like the industry standard was Serato. All my record reps that said music was already Serato already with the cues and all this type of stuff. So they kind of forced me using Serato, but virtual DJ was like kind of, I think to me, was ahead of Serato. They was the first one with stems and first ones with the video and all that type of stuff. But right now I'm just Serato because I'm following the crowd. I shouldn't be doing that. I should be a leader, but yeah.
Serato 2, definitely industry standard. I agree with you there, especially when you're traveling and you show up at a spot and you're not traveling with your own equipment and you're guest DJing. 90% of the time they're going to have some sort of Serato setup, so it's really, I would definitely recommend have at least Serato installed on your computer. I know Record Box is getting there too. A lot of people are shifting there, and with the acquisition of Pioneer now, I don't know what that's going to look like in the future, but I would say stick to Serato. Serato.
Yep. All right, I'll be the black sheep. Okay, so years ago, whenever we started our business, we were looking at Serato, and with the speed at which we were scaling, the licensing was going to be crazy expensive. So I found DJ by Algorithm was $4.99 a month, unlimited licenses, and it was fabulous for what we were doing. Ever since then, I've stuck with it, which is what I'm going to probably say. The best one is the same thing with the headphones, which is, I know, a super vanilla answer, but the best one's the one you use. It's the one you're used to. I think what Mahf said makes a lot of sense, where if you're going to be touring or going to a lot of different places that might have equipment, probably use what they're going to use. That's probably going to make the most sense.
Awesome.
Can I add one thing
yes.
to that too? Like, Algorithm they're doing really well, and there's a program that you can put on your phone, right? And of course I would know that. I started on the iPad, but I really zoned into it, but you know what I'm saying? I just haven't made the switch yet because I have so much history in Serato. And that's one other thing. Whatever software you choose, just know the work that you're going to start doing in that particular software, and that's probably why all of us have like stuck with Serato, because there's a lot of them out there, and a lot of them are pretty dope, I'm not going to lie. But what really kept us in Serato, and they can probably agree, is the history that we put in it. The cue points, the loops, the different matching words that you can type in and stuff. Like on some songs, I'll have like party rock, right? I can just type in party rock, and it just brings up a list of songs that I actually typed party rock in whenever like the party was just banging. You know what I'm saying? So what I did was I basically compiled a bunch of songs that I can look at. You know, whenever you're playing out, you get nervous, you really don't know what song to play. Anyways, I can tell you more about that story later. Anyways, the software that you really want to use is is whatever fits you and whatever you want to start that work on. Because I know Algorithm, you can put it on the phone, you can be chilling, listening to music. I'm gonna add that to the playlist, add that to the playlist, add that to the playlist. That's huge whenever you're out and listening to a bunch of music, man, and actually getting that tune on your computer for that night. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it's a lot of really cool technology out there. So really take your time whenever you guys are looking to actually start building that history in that library, because it's gonna follow you for a while. Now, if you have a lot of time on your hands and you can actually do it on all the other ones, by all means, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you can do it, do it. Let me know. I'll pay you to do mine. Like, I'm not lying. But yeah, whatever software you choose, just make sure, like, you know.
Starting over sucks.
Hey, Mahf, can you hand that back to Cole?
Yeah.
All right, this is actually a question for everybody, but we're just going to go down the line.
Yeah.
All right, so what are some key lessons or insights that you've learned throughout your years, throughout your careers as DJs, that you wish you knew when you were first starting out? So what are some insights that you wish you knew when you were first starting out? It's a hard question.
It's a really hard question. Because in a way, I feel like I'm still there. I think, you know, a lot of mine is going to be different than what some of these guys are going to say. You know, especially with the different like sort of sub industry there. But I think networking is huge, and I think that's something that nobody, whenever they're starting off as a DJ, is going to expect. Is it is not about what you know; it's absolutely about who you know. You could be doing this for 2 years, and if you are out there killing it, beating people, being generally likable, people are going to want to use you, and they're going to talk to you, they're going to talk about you, and they're going to refer you, and those are kind of the biggest things I would say. I can tell you, me starting out learning that, just generally being likable, having a likable brand is the biggest thing I think you can do. Obviously, that's not to take away from any of the talent. That's going to also take you a long way, but if you're super talented and nobody knows about it, you're going to have a problem.
I would say listen to your heart. Whenever you're out here and you're rocking these turntables, all right, guys, like listen to me real quick. I wish somebody told me this a long time ago, all right? Whenever you out there and you got that vibe, because you know it's all like, all right, I'm gonna say it's fishing, right? We fishing for that vibe. We fishing for that vibe that's just gonna make those people remember you and trust you, and you're gonna take care of their hearts. Because music is energy, so it's whatever energy you're putting out, that's going to actually be felt in the room, all right? So whenever you're putting out these tracks, make sure it's something that you feel. Make sure it's coming from your heart. If it's coming from your heart, like, you know what I'm saying? I haven't played with you before, but I know I played with Mahf before, and I played with Nico before, and you can tell when it's coming from their hearts, because it's like time is standing still at that moment, because you're actually locked into them, like, yo, what the fuck is going on right now, you know? So listen to your heart. Just don't question it. You know, I wish somebody told me don't question it, because it was so many times I would be up there playing, right? And I'll catch the vibe, and then like, oh, what's going on? I just overthought. I thought, if I'm playing Ludacris, I gotta go straight to Whitney Houston, or I'm playing Whitney Houston, gotta go straight to Ludacris, or Baby Got Back, or Back That Ass Up, or whatever, you know what I'm saying? The escape songs, you know? But if you like stay in, you know what I'm saying, if you just follow your heart, those would be the best sets that you ever have. And also record your sets. Record your sets. Make sure you record your sets so you can hear what you sound like whenever you're out there, and you will naturally get cleaner, because you're gonna be like, I wish I would have caught that. I wish I would have caught that. I wish I would have caught that. Those eyes are gonna get quieter and quieter, because you're gonna be still listening to yourself, and you're just gonna get cleaner and cleaner. And what does that build? That builds like your confidence whenever you are projecting the music. So when you're confident and you're projecting that music, and you know what you're doing, you know what I'm saying? That brings a whole different type of energy, you know what I'm saying? But I can keep talking about this because I love it so much. I'm gonna pass the mic.
No, I agree with that. Definitely spend time at your house too. Practice on your own time. I see a lot of people that just they don't DJ at home. They just go to the club a couple nights a week, they DJ. And you can kind of tell when they're introducing the new music, they don't know how to manipulate or to play it as well as their older catalog. So definitely take time to learn that new music and see like what works with each other and everything. On the networking side that he was talking about, I learned that staying after your gig and talking to people is huge. Learn the staff, talk to the people that work there, the promoters, see what works in these rooms, find out what's going on in the room when you're not there, talk to the other DJs, learn the bartenders, the security, everybody. Like, that will help you stay in that room if you want to build something in that room. And the other part on that, drunken conversations with promoters that are going to promise you shit is the other side of that coin. We've all been there when you get off stage, hey man, I got this event, you'd be great, and you give them a business card and you talk and talk and talk and talk, and you never hear from that person ever again. And so just watch yourself on that.
Oh my gosh, so many great points were made. Everybody, I'm like, oh!
Been there.
Look, been there. Like, the networking, that's absolutely right. Like, listen to your heart. Let me just expand on that. Like, what makes you you as a DJ is your taste. You know what I'm saying? It's you. It's what you like. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course you want to please your crowd, but I never play music I don't like. I never play music I don't like. I don't care what gig I'm doing. I don't play music I don't like. You know, because that's what makes the taste. You'll go to a lot of stuff and people are just playing all the major hits back to back to back. But it's really satisfying when you can talk to people after a gig and they'd be like, damn, what was that you played that one time? You played it right after that one song. Yeah. You know, like, that's so amazing. Or who was that artist? And also a lot of times when you're looking at your audience, like you like, oh, I don't know if they feeling my vibe. I don't know. And you talk to them afterwards, they could be sitting just like this. You talk to them afterwards, you be like, oh my God, that was the best set I ever heard in my life. And the whole time it was like this. You just never know. You just never know. So seriously, listen to your heart. You create your taste. You create who you are. Nobody can be you. Nobody can be you. Nobody can be you the way you can. They can play the shit that you play, but they ain't you. You know? So for real, listen to yourself. Trust yourself. There's a reason this is something you want to do. There's a reason you see this as a passion. So let it be yours. You know?
I hate being last because everybody made good points. I don't really have much to say, but I can say this. Yeah, I'll be first next. But I can say this. When I started out, the thing I wish I'd have known then, I mean, now, back then, whatever, you know, I'm trying to say, it's just, like they were saying, be creative, like stepping outside that box. Like, when I came in the game, I was a fan of DJs, you know what I'm saying? The movie Juice, what made me want to be a DJ, you know what I'm saying? And what stood out, I mean, they was cutting and scratching everything, but it was the creativity behind it. So when I first got my shot on radio, DJ Chaos picked me because I was being myself, not sounding like nobody. He could have picked anybody to be on the show at the time, but he picked me because I stood outside the box. Because being musical, you know what I'm saying, growing up in church and knowing all this type of stuff, you know what I'm saying, I always wanted to say, how does Luther Vandross would sound with this Tupac? You know what I'm saying? Back then, so it's easy now because you can use the stems, but back then I was like, how would this Whitney Houston sound with, you know, at the time it was Rock or Flop, you know, it's just stepping outside the box, just being creative, just do some, can I cuss?
Yeah.
I was just making sure I had the cameras over there. Do shit that'll blow a motherfucker mind, man. You know what I'm saying? Just think outside the box. Like this rock song go with this country song. This, you know what I'm saying? Jamaican song going with this blues record. Something just make a motherfucker be like, God damn, why the fuck you do that? You know what I'm saying? So just stepping outside the box and being creative, man. Don't never like, oh, I don't think they gonna feel this, whatever. I love being in a room where I get no requests. That means I got total control of the room. Like, motherfuckers come like, hey, I want to hear that Jeezy, I want to hear this, I want to... Sit your ass down. You know what I'm saying? Just be yourself, like they were saying. Just take control of the room and take them on a musical journey. You know what I'm saying? Fuck playing all the hits like she was saying back to back. Take them on a musical journey and be yourself. That's all I say.
Absolutely.
So,
sorry for the foul mouth.
No, you're good. Keep that mic. Keep that mic.
Okay.
This next one is gonna be for you, Cuddy, because you two already shared. So it's gonna be Cuddy, Nico, and VThom. But and I guess you two, if you want to add some in. But how did you establish your initial connections in St. Louis? And like, what advice would you give to other DJs to strengthen their network?
So me, I come up in the G code, you know what I'm saying? So if you touch bases in somebody's backyard, another person's neighborhood, you go holler at the OGs to get permission. So in the DJ game, I went to go holler at the OGs, the DJ 618s, the DJ Chill Will, all the OGs, just to get the knowledge of St. Louis DJs. You know what I'm saying? St. Louis is known for our blending, our mixing. Like, nobody mix like a St. Louis DJ across the country. You would hear them, but our blending and mixing, because traveling across the country, even the world, we are some mixing ass motherfuckers. Like, we can mix our ass off. So just learning the craft, and then I come from an era where it was always a DJ and a host. You know what I'm saying? I grew up, you know what I'm saying, with Jockestein and the Kevin Kales, and you had Chaos and Nino, and then you had the Trouble Squad. You know, I always wanted to be part of a DJ duo. That's why me and DJ Sir Thorough, you know what I'm saying, created the Lugatti Boys, you know what I'm saying? So, like, taking that history of St. Louis DJs and just taking a piece, like, if you hear me DJ, and you know the DJs I'm talking about, I took a piece of everybody's, you know what I'm saying, everybody's style and created my own. You know what I'm saying? I got Nino and Chaos and 618, AJ, Charlie Chan, Boogie Corleone. I even took some shit from y'all. The way they, Chris Brown and VThom, the way they was doing that stuff with the battles and stuff like that. I say, I'm stealing that, take this, and just creating your own, you know what I'm saying, creating your own lane, just taking, you know, people do it in hip hop all the time. They take a sample of a record and create their own. It's just the same way DJ.
Well, I would say it started when I went to like my first DJ networking event, and I was just like with my friend who was a DJ, and we it was like a Slumfest thing, and so I like met these people that work with Slumfest, and they were like, okay, well, we're gonna put you on this gig, and I'm like, oh shit, okay, you know, like my first public outside gig. So then I just started going to more stuff in the creative scene and kind of just getting to know people as myself before I was really out there as a DJ. But then, you know, of course, like the internet, the rise of the internet is happening during all of this. So like I was just making myself visible on the internet. So like I was putting mixes on SoundCloud monthly for like 2 years straight. Or I would start getting more gigs through Slumfest or whatever. But over the pandemic, what's got me to where I am now is over the pandemic, we couldn't DJ. We like had to find shit to do. We had to find ways to be visible. So that's why I was like, okay, people are doing this on TikTok. All she's doing is mixing one song with the next. I could do that. You know? So I just started uploading stuff online, making myself visible. People like, oh, okay, like, oh, I've seen you on TikTok before. I've seen you on Instagram before, whatever. And then I got with a manager. And that took everything to the next level. Because he's already tapped in. And his job is to tap me in with who he's tapped into. So we could all grow and prosper together. You know what I mean? So that really took things to the next level. But you know, that's like not completely necessary right now. I say just be in the spaces, meet the people, talk to the people they want to talk to you. You know, meet the people, talk to the people, just be outside. People are gonna be like, oh, I see you 2 times. Hey, friend.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Right about that.
Yeah.
Man, I started in high school. I bought turntables when I was like 16, and all my friends were like, what are you buying old record players and buying records? What are you doing? They didn't understand it. I would spend just constant hours just in my parents' laundry room every day after school just learning how to mix because they had crazy records. My mom was a big Motown, funk and soul head. My dad was into like classic rock and all that shit. So they kind of already had like some of the breaks for me to start on. I kind of had the blueprint records, so it was easy to kind of jump in and be like, oh shit, I kind of have some of these puzzle pieces. And then I started working at Best Buy, and I met a dude named Cat Davis, who's known as one of the greatest MCs to ever come out of St. Louis. He was in a group called Bits and Pieces. Rest in peace to Cat. Cat kind of took me under his wing. He saw me DJ and was just like, dude, how old are you? What's going on? And he started sneaking me into the Blueberry Hill Science hip hop spin that was broadcasted on 88.1 every Friday night. So I started going there, and I was like 17 years old. They would sneak me in. I would wear fake lanyards I would make in journalism school or in journalism class. It said I took the Blueberry Hill logo and put photographer under that, and I'd walk in with the digital camera, and no one would say shit to me. I'd be like, I'm shooting the photos. They're like, all right, man, walk in. And so I was like, all right. So I just soaked everything up like a sponge, man, because it was just a beautiful community that we had going on here, just representing hip hop to the fullest every Friday night, and just seeing guys like DX and K9 and Crucial and Needles and everybody, man. I just kind of watched everybody and just soaked it up like a sponge. And I would pester those dudes after every Friday night. I would just be talking their ear off, and they're probably like, who's this kid? Why the fuck is he in here? How'd he get in here? How's he drinking? So yeah, man, it just was one of those things where I was just really, really hungry to get into the scene and just find out any means possible to be around like-minded people that I looked up to. And that's kind of, I think, still applies today. Like me and him constantly do sessions together because we just want to be around each other and want to bounce ideas off of. So I think that's really important, to find like-minded DJs or friends, stream with each other, jam with each other, just get together, just bounce ideas off each other. I think that's majorly important.
Give me the question one more time.
The question is, how did you establish your initial connections to the St. Louis market, and like what advice would you give them to strengthen their network?
All right, it was just bugging people and sessioning, right? So and traveling to battle. So it started off with me just playing on an iPad. I was playing with some other DJs and stuff like that, but I was killing it in the rooms that I was in. The people that were just playing, like like DJing, having all the equipment, I was on the iPad, but I was like killing it. And if I think about it now, back then, I was doing nothing but producing right there on the spot, because it was like instant drops and everything like that. Like I was fucking it up, all right? So, and like I really wish I stayed on it, because I would be playing with it right now. But anyways, somebody came in and they were like, yo, you need to get on turntables. So what I did was I started looking at turntables, started playing with him out a lot. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't have any equipment, so I'm going to get on and not even getting paid. Like, yo, I'm coming to play. Like, for like years, you know what I'm saying? But as I did that, I saved up my money, and then I had homies that DJ, but they didn't DJ out as much. So how I would play it was like, yo, I'll come get your equipment, I'll take care of it. I'm gonna play on it, and I'll bring it back out whenever, you know what I'm saying? And I did that and just started practicing on it. Then I started seeing that there were battles out there, because they started doing an online battle. I didn't have any tapes or anything. I seen Juice, I seen all that stuff, but I never witnessed it firsthand, right? So I came across this battle called the DMC. It's the most prestigious DJ battle in the world, all right? So these are like the best of the best, turntablists getting it. Like, have you guys ever heard of the DMC? If you guys go and watch the DMC, it will blow your mind. Guaranteed. Go watch the DMC and hit me back up and tell me what you think. Straight up, please, because I want to know. But what they did was that inspired me to push it to the limit, all the way to the point where I would go out there and I would like battle with them, you know, session with them, and that's what I learned out there through all the battles and stuff like that, because you can only expect what you see online. You can only take it for what it is. It's up to your own perception, unless you're there, right? So if you push yourself and you go out there and you put yourself in these different DJ circles, turntable circles, and just different things like that, you will become a better version of yourself, because you're within your element almost to the max. At that moment, you don't have to be anybody else. You know what I'm saying? We all do what we do. You don't have to be anybody else but your true DJ self, like unapologetically. You know what I'm saying? And it's like nerding out, like different conversations you'll have with different people. It's like, well, I can't have a 2-hour conversation about one song. Not saying I do that with any normal people, but DJs you can. And what it does is when you session with people, you exchange energy, and those people who go out there and they exchange energy, and they're all in these different circles. So energy is like you meeting with a DJ God, right? Like this dude's chill with so many people, like chill with so many people. It's a DJ, and he's my favorite DJ by the name of DJ Babu, right? So I find myself out there, and I wasn't even battling. I just went out there to just to just watch the battle live. So, and not compete, just experience it. So he ended up doing a session in the shop, right? And the session was working on this particular scratch or whatever like that. And this scratch I've been trying for years, you know what I'm saying? Seeing it, hearing it, everything like that for years. Watching it online, I'm talking about 30 minutes, 45 minutes, like nothing but practicing this scratch, right? So I go out there and I session with this individual by the name of DJ Babu. And he broke it down in a way that I had never, in a way that I would have never been able to like absorb it from anywhere else in St. Louis, like straight up, like hands down. So what I did was I exchanged energy with him. I started learning, and I wasn't getting it like that at the spot or anything like that, but that's another thing. Whenever you practice, take breaks, but definitely go back. It's like working out, like for real. But anyways, I was just trying it. I took my equipment out there to like practice in a hotel, have homies up in a hotel. Like I was out there just looking to just scratch. If it was 24 hours in scratching, I was just gonna scratch 24 hours with whoever, right? Because I'm just trying to have fun and listen to music and yeah, anyway, yeah. So when I got back home, it clicked. So that's when I actually like realized that actually sessioning with people and having like a nice structured session, you know what I'm saying? Because if you haven't sessioned with anybody that has sessioned before, what happened is we did it. Like you'll play songs, and it's about that too. But there's also a different side wherever you can do like exercises, and it's called Q&A, and that's on like matching beats, like mixing beats, scratching. So what you're doing right there, you're practicing counting, you're practicing a bunch of different stuff that you're gonna keep with you, and it stays on your soul. I was always worried about forgetting what I learned, but you don't forget what you learn if you just stay on it. And yeah, so sessioning with people, I can talk about it all day because I love it.
Yeah. I have 2 things to add. First of all, I feel your pain because all this shit was great. So yeah, going last sucks. And going first sucks too, which you learned that as well. You've got it made. Right in the middle.
I chose my seat correctly.
You sure did. So yeah, I think 2 things to add. First of all, just because it's about how you built your network in the town, right? So, whenever you're anywhere, say you're at the Midwestern, right? Like, learn people's names. You have no idea how far that goes as far as learning the staff's names. If you have a bartender, you're like, yo, that's Tom. Next time you go out, hey Tom, what's up? Here's a 5. Thank you for all you do, whatever. That will mean the world to them. And they are gonna go and they're gonna be like, they're gonna go to their manager and go, yo, the DJ just gave me $5. They just tipped me. You have no idea how far that goes. I mean, that's something that I have done for a couple of years now, and I have noticed a noticeable difference at my events where now the bartender's like, hey, it's our favorite DJ. And then almost every time I do that, for the next 2 weeks, I have one person, 2 people a week reach out, hit my contact form, and be like, hey, this venue told me about you, that sort of thing. I think that's pretty much it on it.
Yeah, if I can add a little bit, just to kind of bridge the two worlds, because what Cole was saying is a lot of the times when he goes to the venues, he makes sure that this will be like private event venues, he makes sure that he talks to the staff and he's recognized. As soon as you walk in the door, they're like, oh my God, we know that guy, we like that guy, because a lot of other talent comes through and they might not like them. And if you can make yourself likable, they're gonna pass you so much work, it's incredible. And the same thing goes for like the nightclubs. If you get to know the people that work at the nightclubs, you talk to them, you build a rapport, especially if you do play well for them, they're gonna want you there all the time. It's always good. But how I got my foot in the door, when I was in college, I played sorority parties and fraternity parties. I just used to DJ in my dorm. And my first gig kind of came with the school, like people at the school, someone knew I DJed at my dorm, so they're like, hey, we have a school function, you want to DJ it? I never DJed a public event before. I did terrible, it was terrible. But I got my foot in the door, and it actually helped me to build a footing in the fraternity sorority, use those parties to build a footing in the actual city. Then I met the DJs that were playing at the spots that I wanted to play at, kind of like some of them said. And I would just help them at their gigs. If they let me hop on for a couple minutes, I'd hop on for a couple minutes, I'd watch the room, see what worked, what didn't work. Next time I go on, maybe I'll do a little better, maybe I'll kill it, maybe I won't, but I've learned something. And you just keep doing that, just become familiar, and I promise it'll work, it will work. All right, so for all of you, Cole, you're gonna go first. So kind of easy one, what are the top 5 things that you keep in your DJ bag?
God, this is gonna be different than the rest of you. So many cables and backups. I have my laptop, obviously, but then an iPad that is matched to that MacBook for playlists, like because I use the algorithm. And doesn't Serato have an iPad version as well?
They used to.
Did they used to? Okay, they don't anymore?
Is that Serato Remote?
Yeah. Maybe. Anyway, like, something super convenient to where if your laptop does shoot shit, you can go to it, because that will happen at some point. So that, I think, extra headphones, I'm gonna say extras of everything, which could be 5. But yeah, cables, adapters, because especially, and I could see this happening more at a club, like you roll up and you're like, oh shit, they do RCA, not XLR. Like that's gonna be a big thing. So have contingencies in mind, and also make that a part of your, just a part of your mindset. Like, if this goes wrong, what am I gonna do next? And if that goes wrong, what am I gonna do? I can't tell you how many times I have come down to my 4th backup plan, and that's the one that works, and the other 3 didn't. So that would pretty much be, I think, yeah, that would pretty much be it. Just backups of literally everything, down to the wire, down to the jack, down to the cable, whatever.
Awesome. VThom, what are the top 5 things in your DJ bag?
Man, business cards, multiple records. I use Serato on techniques, so sometimes I use needles, sometimes I use phase. But my needles, extra cartridges, headphones, of course. I'm trying to think. Lotion. Whenever you spinning, I'm just letting you know, whenever you spinning, if those hands are dry like mine are now, it won't sound the way you think it will. Yeah. And you touching turntables, all your homies touching those turntables. You don't want to, you know what I'm saying? Hey, you know what I'm saying? How many is that? 5?
Yeah, I mean, that's good. You know, if it's not exactly 5, I just want to know what the most important things are to you guys.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right, Mahf?
I think me and Vince are probably pretty the same because we kind of similar styles. I use phase as well, but I always have a set of needles just as a backup, extra set of records, phone charger, stickers, business cards. Back in the day, I used to bring tons of like demo mixtapes, CDs and shit, but no one really cares about that anymore. I sometimes will throw like extra little hard drives on there if people want to hear my stuff and don't want to bother with going to SoundCloud. I'll just hand them one of my hard drives that have a bunch of my mixes on it. Microphone. Always have a microphone in your bag. You don't know what the venue's gonna be like. You don't know if you need to address the crowd or what. Yeah, that's probably it.
All right, Nico?
Okay, I'm gonna go with the things that y'all haven't said. So like the things aside from like your laptop, you know what I mean? But definitely my external hard drive, if that wasn't said already. External hard drive, backup, some lip gloss, some lip chap, some lip balm. Eye drops. You might take a smoke break, you come back, you can't see your screen, okay? You need a couple eye drops, all right? An extra pair of underwear, because you just never know. It might be hot in there, it's sweaty, your underwear's sweaty. You need a new pair of underwear. Oh shit.
I'm going to add that one to the list.
Okay, listen, can't go wrong. You won't regret it, all right? Just fold it up, put it in a little baggie, and just put it in there, you know? And I'm gonna second lotion, cause your hands dry out here, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. So lotion for sure, the essential.
Cuddy, you be having the extra draws?
I'm supposed to follow that shit. So, my DJ bag, depending on the setup. If I'm going with the turntables, of course, extra records, extra needles, the lotion. Definitely want to have your hands, not dry and everything. If I'm doing the controller setup, both setups, I'm doing extra cables, XLR, 1/4 inch, RCA, because depending on the venue, how you connect, because sometimes, most of the time, they don't have wires for you to connect to. Headphones, optional for me, because if I got a monitor, that would usually be my headphones, because mostly every record in my Serato is cue point to how I need it to be. I don't know about the draws thing, but I keep business cards, cologne, and about, maybe a half ounce of weed. So.
That's why I need address.
I got one more thing. Okay, so I have one more thing to add, so I'm gonna steal that. Who in here is considering private events at all? Okay, a couple of you. So. For you, if private events is really a thing, I said your backups, bring other people's backups too. I have purchased a handful of SD cards and also a little audio recorder. And I have about 15 videographers who send me stuff regularly. And that $200 recorder has paid off in multiples. Because if you have their back and they know you have their back, they're going to work with you, because then if their shit fucks up, then now they know that you've got them. So that's just and it goes with the whole taking care of people thing, right? If you take care of them, they're gonna make sure you're taken care of. And selfishly, if they know you're taking care of them, they know that they're covered. So.
Awesome. And I'm gonna add hand sanitizer, because everyone wants to shake your hand.
Amen.
Make sure you.
Does anyone out there have a question for the panel? Anyone think of anything? Nothing? No?
So going back to practice sessions, what are some some best advice around how to structure practice sessions? I try to, when I'm practicing, at least try to, when I can, I'm not doing it full time, but I try to get it in where and when I can. But I feel like sometimes I struggle with making the most out of my practice sessions. So just any other advice around how to best practice when you're practicing? I know you all said record your mixes, but what if I want to practice okay, I want to practice a house set, I want to practice a hip hop set, I want to practice a pop set, and sometimes I feel damn, I don't know what I want to play, so I'm just gonna get up here and freestyle. But just what's the best way, or like any other advice that y'all have?
I'll kick this off. Somebody said recording your mixes, listen to your mixes, going over any flaws that you have in your set. That's one of the ways I practice. Me personally, I like practicing with another DJ. You know what I'm saying? Like that just helps me build my skills up, you know, especially going up against somebody that I know that'll bust my ass, like Chris Brown or VThom, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I could go up against those guys and just be somewhat there where they at, then I feel like my practice is be complete. But you should know like what you really need to work on. Transition, scratching, song selection, stuff like that. Like, sometimes I just have, I got kids. I got like 6 kids, so they'll be my audience. So if I can move them, I got the young generation. Then I just go to like my uncle and them house. They always having card parties and stuff like that. So I was like, hey, let me just play a playlist. So that'll work on my song selection. Oh, I got them grooving, you know. So, you know, and then I'm the church. I play for churches too. So I just go to church events and stuff like that. Just going, touching the people and just, hey, let me play something for y'all and just see. And that just helped me with my library. And then, again, my number one though is practicing with another DJ, for real. That's number one for me.
I agree with practicing with other DJs. Like, I've done a session with DJ Chris Brown before. He was teaching me scratching stuff, and been over like at John One's house. And oh, of course he busted my ass. I'm not like, I'm not like the biggest scratcher. So like any bits I can take, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna use this. I can do this one. What was the question again? It was one way I love to like I like to get inspired when I want to practice. So I'll kick it off by just listening to music. You just listen to something. Or one thing I do a lot, I'm always singing a song. So like if somebody says a word, I know a song that goes with the word, it just comes to my head. And then like I kind of have like a bit of a musical brain because I was in church choir and stuff like that. And so another song will just come to my brain like in the same key, and I'm like, oh, you know what I mean? So it's just like, you just have an idea, so I like text it to myself and try it later or something like that. But when I practice, it's just because I wanted to hear this song really loud. Like I just want to hear this song really loud. I'm just trying to have fun, or I'm trying to have fun for me. Like this is my own personal party. I can do whatever I want, So just listen, it's therapeutic and it's fun. Just let it be fun. As long as it's fun, like, if when you're improvising, you'll come up with all kind of different shit,
I like to do drills if I'm rocking solo on the practice. Like sometimes I'll be like, I just want to focus on scratching today. If I find like a certain beat I really love, I'll run that for 10 minutes straight, find one sample, and just do constant drills and different patterns on it for 10 straight minutes. Different effects, different things, just run, and just kind of drill it. Just practice. If I want to work on a remix, it's just kind of open-ended. I'll just kind of be all over the place. I'll play with a certain acapella, and I'm like, man, I can maybe take this to do a blend. Do I want to make my own beat? Do I want to do this? My thing, again, like you were saying, get another DJ to play with. Have 2 setups also, so you can play simultaneously and kind of come together as one, because you can really bounce way more interesting ideas when you're like, oh man, can you keep that beat extended? I'm gonna come in with this intro a cappella, and then you can drop that out, and I'll come in with another beat or something. And you might not have done that if you were practicing by yourself. So I think it's really good to bounce ideas off other people, for sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say have fun. You were asking what's the best way to practice? Or
to maximize, how to maximize.
Yeah, to get the most, have fun, 2 setups, that's definitely great. And whatever you've been practicing at the crib, you know what I'm saying? You guys are sessioning because you guys trust each other, you know what I'm saying? Let them hear it. Ask them, yo, what have you been practicing in the crib? Because both of you guys have, like, everyone in this room is dope. So I know every single person in here, you guys have at least like that one trick that you play out and people are like, oh, you know what I'm saying? I know everybody in here is dope. exchange that with each other and see what the other person thinks about it and build on that, you know what I'm saying? And just let it expand. Just session with people and just literally bounce ideas off of each other. And then like the more you do that, like the more doors is gonna open, because it's different doors that you can go in whenever you practice with people, you know what I'm saying? So you can do like the scratching door, you can do the mixing door, you can get the little heady, you know what I'm saying? I ain't never playing this out, but what you think about this, you know what I'm saying? Or I play it, you know what I'm saying? So just have fun just have fun at sessions and just relax and just make sure you breathe, because sometimes you can get into it, you get all nervous and stuff like that, but just breathe and just relax whenever you session, you know what I'm saying? That's it.
Those are all great answers. Yeah, I think to that, like, so you asked like how to structure your practice, right? And I think I feel where you're at, because like whenever I sit down to do basically anything, my ADHD mind runs like 100 miles an hour, and I can't sit and you can't focus, and you know, you're like, I'm gonna mix this, and then you're just like, well, what about this? And then now you're doing the dishes. So like, set that time out, actually put it on the calendar, and this is just like a little bit of like biohacking to like remove your brain's choice from it. So put it on the calendar. I'm not doing anything else, I'm practicing this. And then, in determining what you're going to practice, dude, go to Dollar Tree and get some fucking spinners with the sections on it, like, or make something, right? Like drill a hole into a plate and put a fork on it, spin it, whatever you have to do, and put different labels out, like I'm gonna practice scratching or you know, beat matching or blending, whatever you want to do, spin that, and then go to another one and have maybe genres and spin that, and you go, I'm gonna mix punk rock into new age hip hop, and then have another one that picture beat per minute. So then that way it's going to force you to first of all get out of your comfort zone. And if you're like, well, I'm really good at beat matching, so I'm gonna do that because that's what makes me feel good whenever I practice. I get that. And if sometimes you just need to feel like you're a great DJ, do what you're good at. But sometimes force yourself to get out of that comfort zone. And then if you're great at this, and yeah, I can do all the shit, but I can only do it with hip hop, mix it up, dude. Like, you know, and I think also with your sets, whenever you do get out of that comfort zone, you're gonna find that it's a comfort zone for a reason, because it's expected, because it's easy to pull off the top of your head. So whenever you pull something just way out of left field, other people, when you're doing it live, they're gonna go nuts. One of my mixes I've had really good luck with here lately, and I have a lot of fun with this sort of genre blend, but Truth Hurts into Sugar We're Going Down by Fall Out Boy. And you loop that beginning drum, that 4 on the floor, that boom, 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 over the end of Truth Hurts, and dude, so much fun, and people never expect it, and it's always because like, what the fuck, you're going from Lizzo to Fall Out Boy, and it's this really fun like cacophony. But like, if I hadn't forced myself to get into that, to just figure it out, to find a hip hop song and a you know, and a punk rock song that jive together, you're never going to break past that barrier. So I'd say superstructure it and remove your brain's choice from it, and just leave it up to fate.
Awesome.
See, that's why you need to be in the room for the DJ. I'm taking that idea.
It is the dopest shit. Like, yeah, and then it just drop. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Jeffy, that's why they keep saying just practice with other DJs, because I think I've spent many hours practicing with myself, and stuff that I already know how to do, I can get a little better at, but stuff that I didn't think of, I'm not going to think of without someone else in the room. So I think that's really the best way.
I do think that, to that point too, Chris, it's really great what you're doing here, and I think everybody give Chris a round of applause for having a room full of people like this that all do the same thing, but nobody gives a shit what you're doing wrong. They just want to help. That like, I think, if I'm out of line, tell me, but I think you could ask any of us for our cell number, and I think we just give it to you and say anytime, day or night, call me if you need me. So like 100%, well, yeah, leave her out of it. She's too fucking busy. She don't need you. But no, like, I mean, like, if any of you need anything at all, like, I think hit any of us up. I think hit any of you sitting out, like, because like you said, you've all got some dope shit. We know that. Like, you guys have different ideas because you have a different brain. So yeah, like for sure, I think lean on everybody and having this room. Dude, I think 20 setups would be super dope and just everybody figure it out.
Yeah.
It'd be chaotic, but.
I've seen it done. I've seen 20 sets done.
Trust your ear. If it sounds dope to you, it's gonna sound dope to them. The average person can't even comprehend what we can comprehend. Like these are facts. Don't second guess it. If it sounds dope to you, it's gonna sound dope to them because they are just there to, you know what I'm saying, experience it. You know what I'm saying? I don't listen to that much. They've been listening to news all day. When you drop whatever you drop, because sometimes you get those people that are just, you know what I'm saying, I haven't listened to music all week, and they come out and they want to hear it. If it sounds dope to you, it's gonna sound dope.
All right. I have a good one right here. How do you handle negotiation and pricing when discussing fees for different types of events and clients?
Ooh, this is a good one. I think whatever you set your rate at, set it. Do not move from it unless there is a good reason that is viable. You know, for instance, if you set it $300 and there's somebody wants you to do it on a Wednesday, like, do that shit on a Wednesday. But like if you're doing a Saturday, you're feeling a good date, stick to it, because if you give, they're gonna take it, and they're gonna take it next time. And then whenever you do a price raise, they're going to they're not gonna take you seriously. So I think definitely be taken seriously in that matter. And you asked, how do you set? How do you set it, or when you set it?
You don't have to give your price, but yeah, just how do you set it and how do you discuss with your clients?
I think if you're booking out your schedule 75%, 80% more of what you're generally available to do, you need to up it. You know, I think we've all got to start somewhere, so set that. You might have a year where you're working like a dog for no money. Next year, you had better be raising that. If you see more people go, yeah, absolutely, here's your money up front, you need to raise your rates.
Know your worth. Period. You know what I'm saying? Know your worth. Whenever you out here, you are negotiating these deals, know your worth. You know what I'm saying? If you feel like you're that 600, 700, I'm not saying I make this, you know what I'm saying? But there are different events that you're gonna have and money's gonna fluctuate. You know what I'm saying? Just trust the process more than anything, but know your worth, you know? Like observe what's going on, understand it, comprehend it, you know what I'm saying? Like, know your worth. Yeah, that's it.
Agreed. For private events, I like to protect myself with contracts. I also only like handling my booking through email. Tons of people like to hit me up on like random, you know, Instagram hidden messages that I don't see for 2 weeks. Hey man, are you interested? We've never met. I'm like, oh shit man, if you would have emailed me, I would have saw this and responded the day of. So I always try to funnel everything back, the conversation just into email, so I can just find it in one place. Plus, I'm addicted to Google Calendar. That's kind of and spreadsheets and all that. So it's kind of how I run everything. But I have two different contracts. I have a contract for private events, and I also have one for weddings. And they're very different. They're worded differently. They're structured differently, pay-wise. And I have set rates for those type of things. When you're getting into the club world, so I'm the entertainment director for 3 different venues on Spruce Street. I do the booking for Start Bar, Midwestern, and Wheelhouse. So they have set pay structures on how where their ceiling is and how big they're going to go on Friday nights, Saturday nights, weeknights, different pay scales. And when I hit up DJs, they sometimes want to negotiate, but unfortunately there's really no wiggle room to negotiate. That's what those particular spots in town are doing. If you don't like it, then maybe we can work together some other time down the road or something. So you'll run into that a little bit, but I would just say try to protect yourself and just keep that communication open.
Okay, well, when things kind of started to get more serious for me and it actually became like my job, I asked VThom and I asked Chris Brown, I'm like, hey, how much money should I be charging? I feel like I'm doing good right now. You know, so I reached out to a few DJs and got like, some advice about my rate and what it should be. It's also very much like they said, stick to your price. If somebody doesn't want to pay your price, they can find another DJ. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's stuff that if you would rather be at home, like if the money isn't worth it, if you would rather just be at home, then do that. Then be at home. But like also now, like I said earlier, I have a manager, so like I'm a woman. People don't take shit I say seriously. Some people don't take shit I say seriously. Some people don't take your race seriously. People hit me on Instagram and you tell them your price and they're like, whoa, like yeah, motherfucker. Like I've been working. You know what I'm saying? So I have a manager now and he's a man. And I'm not saying like anybody else will be a bad manager, but what I know for me is that my manager is gonna be like, no, this is how much money this is the contract, and if there's some type of fluctuation or if there's some type of price difference, he's gonna call me and ask me, like, do you wanna do this or not? And I'm like, no, I'm straight. You know, so it doesn't even have to be a man. Somebody who's not afraid to say what needs to be said, and somebody who's about their shit and about their business, and like this is his or her or their rate, and this is what we doing. You can get with it and book them or not.
Y'all make all good points. Before I get up out of here, because I got an event to get to, I'm gonna just say this: know your worth. Protect yourself. Contracts is always good, especially with private events, weddings. But let me get off into the tier of these rates, because a lot of I'll be seeing the stuff on Facebook. There'll be a lot of DJs venting and feeling like they work more than this and everything like that. But if you build your brand gonna speak for itself. Absolutely. You build your following gonna come. Like the negotiation with a club owner or whatever. If you got a following, that's just know when to get in there and get in the business with them where you taking the door. Everything I do, I take the door now, but you gotta work your way to that. Because instead of getting $200, $300, $400 and this promoter or club owner is getting $8 grand or whatever, I need $2 off every head to come up in here. You know what I'm saying? Depending on the venue, just know how to negotiate when it's that time. You know what I'm saying? Get your foot wet, rock that motherfucker out, you know what I'm saying? Where, we got to have this person here every weekend, you know what I'm saying? And the tiers, when I was talking about as pricing, some people be like, well, Cuddy, you could charge more because you're on the radio. I was getting this bread before I even got on the radio, because I knew the business, you know what I'm saying? Get with some DJs who know the business, and it's been events that these guys got paid way more than me, and I'm on the radio. You know what I'm saying? But they know they work. They stood on it. Hey, motherfucker, I need 1,000. Flat out. You know what I'm saying? So know your worth. Get them contracts in line. Like I like his emailing thing. Like everybody booked me through my website. You know what I'm saying? And I have a manager too. She's a female from San Diego, and she's a bad bitch. You know what I'm saying? She's a bad bitch. That's how I get booked outside of St. Louis, because she stand on it. And then I know it's different from you. You got a male. Let me tell y'all this before I get up out of here. You, female DJs, y'all fucking winning. Who wouldn't want to see a bad chick rocking this motherfucker than my fat goofy ass up in there? You know what I'm saying? I'm just being real. So females, know y'all worth, because y'all can get the bread. As a matter of fact, I'll be your manager. I see it all the time. I'll be like, nah, don't even, I'll turn my stuff down. I said, I don't even want to get booked. Book her. She's nice, she got the whole look, she got the vibe, and she got the skills. Like this motherfucker right here, this is a bad motherfucker. This is a bad motherfucker. I've been a fan before I even met this one. I'm like, oh.
This man, listen, DJ motherfucking Cuddy, are you serious? I was listening to this man all the fucking time. This is one of the blueprints of my style of DJing. So to be sitting next to this person right here and them telling me I'm the shit, you damn right I'm gonna stand on my price.
She is the shit. She would back it up. I was like, okay, that's what's up. But yeah, just know y'all worth. And if y'all need any information from me, you know what I'm saying, outside of this, I'm not hard to reach. Matter of fact, I'm gonna give you my business card right now. You know what I'm saying? Prepared. Just if I get up out of here, reach out to me, network. I got them beats. You know what I'm saying? I ran out of cards, but I got y'all. You know, I got y'all in my wallet. But just know your worth, man. I hope Chris Brown, give him a hand of applause. I love this, man. We do this more often. We've been doing the workshops and everything, and I'm thankful for being a part of this. But I gotta get up out of here.
Let's hear it for DJ Cuddy. Thank you. We'll do it again. I'm gonna invite you back. Just to add on to some of the things that people said, having a manager is really, really dope because a lot of you guys, especially starting out, your friends and family want to book you and they don't want to pay you anything. But if you have them talk to someone else about how to book you, they can speak to them straight. There's no feeling involved. So having a manager is really, really dope. It does take some time to build up to getting a manager and making it worth your while, but it is something that I do recommend. And Mahf was talking about like him booking at venues and how they have set rates, which is mostly true. But there are some venues that have a set rate, but if you're a newer DJ, they're not gonna pay you that set rate. They'll pay you a little less. So if you're working and you feel like you're like really killing it, like you're holding a room, everyone's dapping you up at the end of the night, the staff loves you, and you think someone else is getting paid more, there's no problem in asking, just saying, hey, is there any way, you know, we can work out another deal or something like that? It's totally viable. Don't be afraid to ask for more money if you feel like you're worth more, especially for the room that you're in. And the last thing, we went over marketing a little bit, but if you don't have a website, definitely get a website. You need something outside of Instagram, because people can go to your Instagram and check that stuff out, but a website will take it a step further. It'll show people that you're just that much more professional and you're that much more prepared when they come to hire you. All right, next question. This is interesting. What advice would you give to new DJs for handling performance anxiety, nerves, stage fright, any of that stuff? Because I know that's one way. Might not go well though. So Nico, yeah, what do you do?
I don't know if I have the best advice to give because I'm in a constant state of anxiety. So it's my existence. No, I'm just kidding. But I'm just an anxious motherfucker. Like, I don't know. Like, I get performance anxiety all the time. Like, there are many times I have a gig or some of the stuff y'all see me do, and I've been nervous as fuck. But I've done this before. I've been here before, done this before. I at least halfway know what I'm doing because I'm here right now. You know, like I'm doing the gig right now. So clearly, they believe in me, so I need to believe in me too. You know? So usually my nerves start to dissipate after I kind of get in my bag. You know, once I get in my groove and kind of get in my bag, and I go, okay, they're liking it, good. You know? And that's really it. But you know, y'all know I teach yoga, and that's a great like breathing techniques. There's a breathing technique called bee breath, and like traditionally you'll be at home and you like stick your fingers in your ears and you go so you kind of hear yourself humming. But a lot of times when you have your headphones on, you can kind of hear yourself. So like sometimes I'll be back there humming like like, and it kind of calms me down. Or I'm doing like my you know, just to be like, okay, bitch, you're okay. You've done this before. You can do it. So yeah, just if you got, make sure you got a couple coping skills. If you have some things, you know, that you know will help you calm down, like definitely tap into those things. But for me, it doesn't go away. Like I have, it just depends on what I'm doing.
Yeah, I get a little nervous on the big shows for sure. It's like the butterflies and all that. Those shows I kind of hide backstage a little bit more, kind of clear my head a little bit. Especially when we used to do the big battles, like Red Bull 3 style. I remember Kansas City, I think you were back there. Everyone wanted to be in our dressing room, and I kicked everyone's asses out. I was like, get the fuck out of my dressing room, me and you, because I was like, I need to concentrate. I need a clear head. They're all in party mode and shit. I'm like, man, I spent 3 months putting this 15-minute set together, and if I don't execute it, I'm just gonna be so pissed at myself. Like, so, that and a good old-fashioned shot of whiskey to start the night off. No, but for real, I mean, if you landed that gig, have the confidence to know that you're supposed to be there. They believed in you. You need to believe in yourself too. You're gonna kill that shit.
Yeah, breathe. Just breathe. Because when that happens, you're not breathing. Believe it or not. Next time that happens, just really trip off what's going on. You're not breathing, all right? Take a deep breath. However many times it takes, all right? And another tip with that can help you out with that, think 2 or 3 songs ahead. You know what I'm saying? Try to get in the habit of that. Try to think like 2 or 3 songs ahead. Start using that prepare crate. You know what I'm saying? Like songs you're not playing at the beginning of the night. Just put them in the prepare crate. I call those little Easter eggs. You get stuck in the bottom of the night. You tired, you ready to go. You like, you got your first hour in, you went in hard, you know what I'm saying? You chilling, you trying to chill, you not thinking, and then you hit that prepare crate, banger. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, just breathe. Whenever you're in that moment, you're about to do something that you've been trying over and over and over and over and over in your bedroom, and you're just like, shit, it's Friday, let's see if it works. Like, I've worked to do this particular thing, and I'm about to let it rip. You know what I'm saying? Breathe. Don't forget to breathe. My homie Damo taught me that. DJ Damo. Yeah, breathe. Make sure you breathe. Breathe.
Also, if you have people around you that are your crew, your family, they make you feel really good and comfortable, bring them with you. If they're not doing shit, bring them with you. Act like they're part of your stage show, whatever, sneak them in, however you get them in. Have your team behind you. You'll be way more confident, you'll feel way more comfortable on stage, be way more at ease. Bring your people.
I think there's been a couple good points made already. Like you said, prepare. Be 3 songs ahead. If you're doing a private event, have all your shit laid out and organized so you don't have to go, fuck, what's their name? I can't tell you how many times that's come in. Also, you're gonna fuck up. You're gonna have bad days. And the best thing you can do is next time when you start getting nervous, realize that's the worst that's gonna happen. Like, it cannot get worse than that, and I'm still here, and I'm still doing this, and people are still paying me to do this. So I think that would be a big one. The preparation is huge, and then realizing you're there for a reason. As we've said, you're there for a reason, and also fucking play for yourself, man. If you get to the point where you're like, they're not feeling it, you start playing for you, and somebody's gonna get on your train, right? It's also hard, like, being the first dude. I think Charlie Chan shared this on Facebook today, or it might have been somebody else. One of those guys shared. The hardest thing to do is to be the first DJ on set. Like, whenever you've got to come out just banging, and you're not just playing like your fucking dinner playlist. Like, if you've got to be the one to bring that energy, dude, do it for you. Like, feed yourself. Absolutely. So yeah, just. You're a bad motherfucker, you can do this. That's what I'd say.
Peace y'all, DJ Whiz, I got the next question.
I got one more thing to add. So, kind of like Nico, I live in a state of anxiety. So I prepare for everything that I do. Everything that I do. If I have a private event, I get as much information for that event. Who's gonna be there? What type of people are gonna be there? Oh, it's gonna be like, 40-year-old white guys? Got it. I'm gonna prepare something for that. If it's gonna be, a school in the city, got it. I'm gonna prepare something for that. So just preparation is a really big part for me to keep my nerves down and just go into every gig confidently. All right, Wiz, I'm sorry.
No, that's real.
Green light?
There we go, yep.
Okay.
That's real. Practice and prep creates confidence, right? You know you can do it, you've done it a few times. And this is kind of getting into my question. So I wondered if y'all have like a philosophy for DJing. For instance, like for the first hour, I might just play random shit the whole time to see what people react to, and then I kind of get into like my set, you know what I mean? Do y'all have a philosophy like that, or just different, or anything like that?
With that being so specific to like my personal philosophy, mine is going to be obviously geared towards private events, because that's pretty much all I fucking do. So for the two people who are interested, this is for you. For the rest of you that aren't, sorry. For me, show up, like I've touched on, just network. Like after you're set up, chill, do the thing. Go the extra mile always. If there is an option where you could make a bigger impact, or where you can just sit behind the booth and make that bigger impact. So always be thinking of that, thinking of how you can help others. When you're doing something, when you're an idol, what can I be doing to make this go better, to make this go smoother, to make someone else's night better? Yeah, I think, and then just like getting rid of the boring shit. Like for me with my events, like oh God, I cannot play another Frank Sinatra, Tony Bennett, rest in peace this week, dinner set. Like bad timing. I can't do it. So like playing fun shit, because that is what a DJ is hired there to you're hired to be fun, right? You're hired there to like bring the party. So bring the party. Like don't fuck with that shit if you're doing it. So yeah, I think that's pretty much a lot of my philosophy here in the last 8 months. A lot of my personal like dance stuff has changed to where like don't play any fillers. That's the other thing too, is like as a DJ, especially starting out, you can go, you're like, man, I've got a 4-hour set and this is gonna be hard because I don't know that many songs. You know that many songs. You know enough songs to play each of those for 1 minute, right? You're 240 songs. You can pull that out, especially if you've got your crates organized. Keep it moving, because you will lose people. They're gonna go, oh, this is fun, but the bar's outside, so I'm gonna head out there. So yeah, I'd say keep it moving, keep the energy up, keep it fun. That's what you're paid to do.
My philosophy would, if it sounds good to you, it's gonna sound good to them. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever you listen to in the car, like whatever you are bumping right now, whatever you finish listening to in the car before you came in here, if it's hot, play it. You know what I'm saying? Like me, right now I'm listening to Hit Boys. I heard Surfer Drown too, but Surfer Drown 1 is the best in my opinion. Well, there's a couple songs on 2, but still, like what I'm hearing from those albums are just dope, purely dope. And he's doing things like Madlib, another producer, like he'll put a whole album out and he'll put all instrumentals out, you know what I'm saying? Like dude's dope and the music is dope. So that's what I've been playing out. Like I'll play like straight up, like the whole album, just sprinkled through the night. Like I don't care, you know what I'm saying? Just play what you feel. And people are like, yo, what's that, So whatever you're feeling, whatever you've been working on, play it. Also, like of course there's different vibrations. You have art genres, you have R&B, blah, 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 blah. Mess with those crates, you know what I'm saying? If you want to get that specific, have those different crates, right? But whatever you play out those crates, if you have like one crate, I learned from this man, it's called most played. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you play out of those 4 crates that you play the most, drop it in the most played crate. And what you're gonna do is, this is a gem that I got from Mahf. Yeah, that crate is gonna become a beast. You know what I'm saying? You're just gonna be able to just play in that crate and just everything's gonna flow, because the more time you spend in your library, the best. Even when you're playing out, pay attention. Yeah.
Man, now I gotta clean that most played crate out now. We got too many tracks. My philosophy, I guess it depends on like the role I'm supposed to play at the event. Like if it's a wedding or something, you want to ease into it a little bit. Usually you're starting with cocktail hour. You don't want to bang them over the head with crazy shit. And, you kind of want to be in the background for that. On the other side of that, when I do like performance sets, when I'm opening up for somebody, or like one of my bands, we tour a lot, and I'll come out and I'll do a 30-minute set before the band comes out and does a 90-minute. And the crowd's there for the band. They don't know me, but I'm part of the group, and I'm kind of setting the tone. But I also know that they don't want to just sit there and listen to a DJ blend records into each other. So that I kind of take it where I look at it as a performer, like what would I want to see for a 30-minute set? So I come out really, really hard. I do tons of little pieces of different routines that I put together over the years, from battles, from different shows, different themed nights that I've done. It just kind of depends on what it is, but I try to really be super active on that, because I want to showcase them that I'm not just pressing buttons and standing here. Like I want to show them that I'm using the turntable as an instrument. I'm taking this to another level. So I'll come out and I'll really, really put like a lot into the performance and just be lightning fast. Always rock the mic in those situations. You want to address your crowd, you want to connect with them. That's huge. But yeah, as far as the club stuff, if you're doing a 4-hour set, that's usually like that first hour is kind of where I get a little bit more experimental. I'll play a lot of the music that, like you were saying, the shit that I'm like riding around in my car that week listening to, that I know is not gonna work at peak hours. That's where I'll slide some of that stuff in. Like I use like the sandwich technique. We used to talk about this back in the day, where you would play a banger You may play like a track or two for you that you know that no one's really gonna know, but it's gonna go with that vibe. And it's great music, they just don't know it yet. And then you follow it up with another banger. So you don't lose them completely where they're like, oh man, what the fuck is this? You can get them right back. But you're still kind of satisfying yourself there too.
Let's see. I would say my philosophy is I'm definitely along with I play the shit I like at the beginning. Like, you know, it's not many people there yet. Well, I play shit I like the whole time, but it's like stuff that people haven't really heard yet, or maybe it's this underground person I just really been listening to, or this, you know, album I really just been liking. I love to get those off in the beginning because people are like, who is this? Right. That's the best part. Who is that? You know, people that love that shit. Performances, like, I'm coming out with the heat, you know what I'm saying? If it's like, I got an hour, or I got 45 minutes, or I got 30 minutes, all right, boom, I'm coming out with the heat. And I'm very much a blender, and so like, you know, some people, they just fuck with that. Like, they just hear songs they like, they're like, okay, cool, and maybe I'll sprinkle in something new that kind of fits the vibe. I'll do that too. But yeah, it depends on what I'm doing. A lot of times I have a whole ass plan, and then I get there, I don't do none of this shit I plan to fucking do.
Absolutely.
Because I'm like, first of all, these are not the people I thought were going to be here. This is not the vibe I thought this was going to be. So you better know how to just read the room. Just know how to read the room. Just be like, oh, this is giving R&B vibe, or ooh, you know, like imagine it like you in a movie. What would these people be listening to in this movie? Like really just read the room, feel it.
That's a good one, yeah. I do that all the time. I hear a song and I'm like, what would they be doing? And then I look at the people, I'm like, oh, they'd be doing this. And then I play that song. Does anyone out there have a question? Stasi.
Hi y'all. So how do you prepare for a set? For me, like I create a crate and then guess who's gonna be there, but sometimes it doesn't work, but if I'm not following that crate, I don't really know what songs to pull from. So how do you prepare for a set?
Well, I would say first off, definitely consider like what the event is, like what kind of people are gonna be there, what are they gonna be doing. Like you just did something at the zoo, so I know there's a ton of different types of people there. You know what I'm saying? So what is something that, what are ways that I can make this fun for everybody? You know what I mean? Like it might be fun for these people at these moments. It might be fun for these people at these moments. But then these people see these people having fun. Now everybody having fun. You know? So like definitely well when I actually go in and prepare for a set or what I'm doing, first of all, how long is this? How long am I gonna be DJing? Am I DJing for 2 hours? Am I DJing for 4 hours? So if I'm DJing a short amount, I know I can get a lot of heat off. But if I'm DJing a long amount, like okay, I'm gonna need some fillers in between there. I'm gonna need some, I wanna incorporate tracks people have never heard or whatever. So then I'll start to compile a playlist. So, it was Jamming at the Zoo you did. So my playlist might say, Jamming at the Zoo. Okay, there's gonna be old people, there's gonna be young people, there's gonna be different races of people. But I know all of these people know Whitney Houston. I know all of these people know this Luther Vandross song. I know all of these people know Before I Let You Go. You know what I mean? So like, I'll put some of that stuff. I'll be like, okay, there's gonna be a turn up point at some point throughout the night. So yeah, back that ass up. Everybody gonna back that ass up. I'll just put back that ass up on there too, just in case. Just add that in a tub. You know what I'm saying? So like, definitely just try to get a feel. Try to feel what the experience is supposed to be. Like, and I'll ask people when I'm doing the gig, what do you want this experience to be? Is this supposed to be a party? Is this a panel? Is this a wellness event? Like, what's going on here? What kind of vibe are you looking for? So that I know what to do when I get there and I'm not shocked. And also just expect it to change. Just expect it to change. So have your most played crate ready. Boom. We go into these because I know people know these, So yeah, just definitely feeling it and reading the room.
She hit it on the head perfectly. Definitely just have your crates prepared. It sounds like you're off to a good start, honestly. I like to do mine by genre. I have genre crates for everything, even kind of time periods. But then I have ones that are like a lounge crate for something that's super chill, like that new spot Maryland house that we all just started playing at. It used to be the Old Mandarin. It's very chill. Like it's not a party spot at all. And they even told us, they were like, Don't come with all these new bangers and shit. We don't want any of that. We want like jazzy sampled hip hop and mellow low key, like maybe some little housey stuff like K-Tronada and stuff. I'm like, cool, I get that now. And it's always good to talk to the promoter or whoever you're working with. And yeah, find out the demographics of who you're playing for. That's huge. Head count. How many people are going to be there? Is it 50 people? Is it 250 people? Also, doesn't hurt to have clean edits in your computer too. When I was DJing for the Blues, I didn't do that in the beginning. And I was really getting risky in front of 20,000 people every night because I was using the filter button. I'd be playing stuff that is not edited. And I know the lyrics though, so I'm filtering out things. And I'm like, man, if I forget something, I'm gonna be in trouble. Because there's a profanity clause in the contract I have with them, and they can fire me on the spot if like one word slips. And these little kids that are at the game here, I lose my job. So I started having to be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have to start carrying clean versions of some of these new, more popular songs so I can play. So yeah, just be prepared. Sounds like you're there.
Get to know your music. You know, just spend time inside your library, like chill for a little, like a little minute, and just go through your songs, every single song. Like give it like 20, 30 seconds, skip through it. You know what I'm saying? But if you know it, you know it. Just spend some time in your library, and when you're listening to that song, pay attention to how it makes you feel. Does it make you feel happy? Does it make you remember that? Does it make you remember this? Does it make you want to get up? Like remember that type of, you know. And if it's dope, regardless of the energy it is, put it in that crate, you know? Just spend time inside your library, because I know Herbie Hancock is playing here for, you know, music at the intersection, but I've been playing Herbie Hancock mixed with Nina Simone in like packed rooms, packed festivals, like places where you would think that they want to hear top 40, and I'm playing these tracks and I'm blending them together. And that was just because I was on that in my library, and I was on that just riding in the car. You know what I'm saying? And just spend time on your libraries, because when you know different songs, different bridges, different spots, that's why you do what you do. You're like, oh man, I like the way that sounded in that song. Oh, I like the way that sounded in that song, you know? Just spend time on it, you know? Turn it on at the crib and put the loop on for an hour. You ain't gotta, you know what I'm saying? You know it sound dope, you know what it does, you know what I'm saying? I've done that, you know? Put the same loop on for a long period of time and just think about the different songs that roll through your head, different acapellas that roll through your head, different, you know, just different things, and just see what comes out, you know? The more pressure you apply, the better the outcome.
I think just to extend what you're kind of saying, like know your shit, you know, and then also whenever you're going into it, try to like, and you will, like, I think anybody who's been DJing for a couple of years, you can start to like hear songs and other songs, you can hear beats, and you can be like, oh shit, that is the same, whether it's sampled or not. You can also hear like, you know, some stupid intro that like, you know, Pitbull's got, and you're like, that's the same fucking thing, or that would work right there. You'll start to hear it, and I think staying, like you've got your banger crates, and you know, staying there, whenever you're in something, just scroll through and be like, what would this be? Because like we kind of touched on, like Mahf kind of touched on with like cocktail hour stuff, you're not throwing out Mo Bamba during dinner. It's just not a good idea. You can try it. I don't think grandma's gonna like it.
Depends on the client.
That's true. That is true. But yeah, like, you know, like that sort of stuff. So like scrolling through, like you've got your banger playlist, which is going to have everything from Whitney to Sheck West, but you're going to be like, what can work here or in this sort of vibe, because it is going to change throughout the night. You know, you get closer to midnight or 1, and it's definitely a little bit more crunk than it was at 7. You know, so just kind of keeping your finger on the pulse of the energy in the night, I think, is a huge thing. And I'm awful because I don't prepare my sets usually. I just kind of show up and you read it there. And that's the other thing too, is like a lot of y'all, like a lot of us have said, you show up and it's not at all what you thought it was going to be. So, you know, put a little bit into that, but more than putting into what you're going to play that specific day, learn the whole thing a little bit, as much as you can, and maybe have 1 or 2 songs you want to single out and try that night. But other than that, just know what you're working with.
A couple things that I'll add is, if you're doing a gig or an event that you know another DJ has played, talk to him. they'll tell you exactly what the deal is. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've just going somewhere, I'm like, I have no idea what I'm about to do. Hey, what was this like? Like, oh man, it's really chill. Or, oh man, you're really gonna have to, you know, be ready, be prepared because they like to do this, that, and the other. Or they'll be like, hey, the organizer or the promoter is really disorganized, so you're gonna have to do a little extra. Just stuff like that will help you out a great deal. Before I dip back into my questions, anyone else have other questions?
I actually have 2 different questions. As a beginning DJ, how do you go about starting to book gigs as you get big?
I don't think I'm gonna have a good answer for that. I mean, you know, just go around and ask for them, I think is the big one, right? Like, if you have a TikTok, right? Like, if I guess, is that the new mixtape now, right? Like, you used to give people your mixtape and now you're like, oh, here's my TikTok or my Instagram handle. Making content has never been easier, ever. Set up your iPhone on a $10 Amazon tripod and take some videos. And then whenever that takes off a little bit, maybe you upgrade, spend $20 on an audio splitter so you can plug it into your phone and then you get, you know, better audio. And then that's gonna grow, it's gonna compound and snowball. So I think create that digital content so you can show people this is what I do. Because if you walk up, you're like, hey, I'm a DJ, I want to play at your club, they're gonna go, fuck off, because I don't know you. But if you can say, this is what I do, then I think you're gonna have a much better chance of that. And then as far as private events go, it just sort of snowballs. If you're interested in that, just get your foot in the door somewhere, start advertising. I think a lot of you guys is probably gonna be starting at clubs and you get people that hear you at the clubs and they go, you're awesome. Can you go to my kid's bat mitzvah or you know, whatever wedding, that sort of thing. But I think content right now has never been easier to make and has never been easier to share. And I think that's gonna be your best bet.
Yeah, I would definitely say content on that too. But I would also say, whenever you find yourself out in these different environments, it can be a store, it can be a restaurant, wherever, you know what I'm saying? And you think a vibe can be there, pass them a card, you know what I'm saying? Just talk to them in and out. But what will happen is whenever they use that card, that content that you have on there, if it's clean, if it's the vibe that they see in there and you're clean with it, you know, they're gonna hit you up, you know what I'm saying? Especially if they book people. And then once that starts, you'll start rubbing shoulders with a lot of different people in the community. You'll get booked for a private gig, or you'll get booked for that, and a book for that. You get the same energy, and then people will come to you. As long as you can provide that, as long as you can take care of their ears, you know what I'm saying? People will come to you, you know? So, and it's up to you to do what you do, you know? Like, you know the amount of time that you put in, you know the amount of time that you don't put in. The more time you put in it, the better it'll come out.
I think the key to getting booked also is just showing face at people's events. Show up at parties that you actually want to be at or venues that you want to play at. Go there on a Friday or Saturday. If there's like, you're seeing something online, you keep seeing this post, you're like, oh, that looks cool. I'd love to do that one day. Go there and like network with the DJs. Like, I'm not saying sweat them in the booth and interrupt them while they're playing, but like try to pull them aside and get some time with them or whatever, even their friends. You know, buy them a drink, start a conversation, just anything like that. Business cards and stickers and that type of shit is key for that too. But again, I really feel like just being out there and showing face and support, they'll eventually bring you into the fold if you're there all the time. You know, or even show up once or twice and on your second or third time there, if they're not really giving you any love or a chance, be like, hey, like, can I jump on for like an hour in the beginning of the night or something? Like, you don't need to pay me. I mean, just to get your foot in the door at the very beginning. If they're not opening the door, that's one way to be like, hey man, like, can you just give me a chance, just let me get on for a little bit? I encourage that for DJs all the time that I book down on Spruce Street. I'm like, you want to bring a friend in? I'll check them out. Like, I don't know everybody. You know, I don't have time to go out as much as I used to because I'm literally DJing 5 nights a week now. I don't have a social life anymore. So I want to go to other people's events, but I physically can't. So it's like, sometimes it's cool, but someone's like, hey Mahf, I'm gonna put on my boy down at Start Bar. I know you booked me tonight, but like the first hour he's gonna play. Can you come down just for a little bit and check him out? I'll be like, yeah. And if I like him, I'll give him a shot. You know?
I agree, content, you know, have something ready for people to listen to. And you know, TikTok is great for that because people's brains are fast right now. You know, like look, give me a couple, make a couple short videos and make a couple mixes. So they got options, you know what I'm saying? I did a lot of stuff for really cheap when I first started. You know, just on some, I just need y'all to see me. You know, I just need y'all to see me first, you know, so I did a lot of stuff for really cheap. But yeah, like, throw your own shit. If you're able to, like, okay, I'm gonna invite my 10 friends in my backyard. Like, easy, like work, you know?
And my second question, thanks for the insight. My second question is about DJ pools. Because at the moment I'm pulling music from YouTube Music. What are some good DJ pools to pull from? Because I know a lot of DJ pools don't have all the songs that I need. And I listen to a million different genres and they don't have the music that I'm looking for all the time.
But in my experience, unless you join like a pool where like I think there's ones out there where there's a bunch of different DJs and they can send you that in particular, but in my experience, no DJ pool is gonna have everything you want. None of them, and that's the trick. You know what I mean? They're like, oh yeah, we got Essence, but we got the remix. You know? You're like, oh damn, I never heard this before. Listen, the dubstep remix of Essence, like, fuck, I need the regular one. You know? So yeah, no DJ pool is gonna have all the music you want. I just be doing it the old way. Like, I'll just like, if somebody else ain't got it to give it to me, I get it off iTunes but now in Serato, if you have Tidal or SoundCloud, you can stream now. Now some streaming don't always work. Internet be fucked up, you don't know. Make your computer slow, who knows? But Tidal, damn near everything on fucking Tidal. So if, you know, something come to my brain and I don't got it, I could, you know, tap into Tidal or SoundCloud or whatever. So yeah.
Yeah, the YouTube rips, you want to watch that just because, you know, the quality might be really bad. Especially when you play on a bigger system in a bigger room, you can really tell then when you're like downloaded a 128 and you're like, oh shit. this isn't hitting like it was in my car. Oh shit. But yeah, as far as pools go, I mean, a lot of them are just clones of each other at this point too. That's why when a lot of newer DJs, I hear them, I know where they're getting all their music because they only have a DJ City subscription and they're just downloading the top 20 tracks every week and they're just playing that. And I go through those too and I'm like, this isn't really interesting to me because this is just the same shit everybody else is doing. DJ City's got you covered as far as a lot of different genres, but you can't go deep with them. They don't have good back catalog. They don't have shit. BPM Supreme is a little bit better on that. They have full tabs and pages of deeper crates like that. I don't know, is Beat Junkies still doing a record pool? The Beat Junkies record pool me and Vince love because they had it's curated by really dope hip hop and funk and soul DJs and turntablists. And they have like these rare breaks and rare funk records that are hard to just find, period. And these guys have digitized them from their vinyl collection, beefed them up in software, made them, you know, best quality, sound quality they can, and then they're giving it to us. You know, these are records that are thousands of dollars that are super rare that no one has. So they're good for that. You know, I know, I don't know, the EDM ones, what was it? Beatport? Club Killers, Beatport for EDM, that sort of thing. But honestly, like, I would try to buy your music, like tracks, just buy them off iTunes, you're gonna get the best quality, or the streaming thing for real.
That's what I was gonna say. And do they still sell CDs? Well, I mean, you probably have a CD that I'm telling my age. Anyway, huh? Yeah, digital album. If you know, that's exactly what I was about to say. Is like if you can get, not saying you're gonna play with vinyl out and stuff, but there's ways to get your music. You know what I'm saying? I know there's a couple people around town that have like different DJ record pools where they send out monthlies and stuff like that. But like whenever you can, grab a record, you know what I'm saying? And if you have Serato, you can record it in there. I mean, the best quality that you can, you know? Hold on.
Sorry. When we first started out digitally, because we were all vinyl in the beginning, like, you know, we were in this for a minute before that. When Serato first dropped, I remember we would have parties where we would all get together and we would all just sit with our laptops and bring our external hard drives and we'd share shit just to get the ball rolling, to get your library up. if you got some homies that are willing to share with you and give you, you know, I would never give up all my secret weapons. All my like originally produced remixes on, I'm kind of keeping those. So that kind of makes me me. That's my identity. But like all the generic shit, it can save you a ton of time if you all get together. Shit, have that for one of the Wednesdays. Hard drive swap. But it's really not a bad way to like build your library quicker and just, you know, like all the go-tos, especially for, you know, weddings and things like that. So like, there's some staples that you need in your library, and that's an easy way to get it.
Yeah. Give me the question again. Oh no, that's all good. Fuck. What? Hold on. Oh, I did? Okay, thank you.
I thought you did a great job. Y'all were sharing shit like fucking ringtones back in the 2000s. Yeah. Like Bluetooth. Oh, you got this one? Dude, I used to do, is it VThom Supreme, I think. What I found was that I would just it just cluttered everything because I still played what I knew, right? So like, I just, whenever I hear something that hits, I just buy it on iTunes and have it downloaded. The hard drive is a huge thing. If you can get a starter hard drive from somebody, I'm sure people are willing to share, as long as you don't tell them. And yeah, I think that, and then just when you hear something that hits that like speaks to you, just buy it. It's there, you know, you can get them. And also, iTunes does run these specials that are like 50 cents or 69 cents for certain genres and albums. Fish through there, you might find some gold for cheap. I know you're only saving 62 cents, but it makes a big difference. Yeah, when you're buying, you know, 50 tracks, it can definitely make a big difference. So that's it. Good questions, really good questions.
Those are really good. I do have one kind of contrasting view. I think streaming has a place. I think it's really good if you're in a bind, but for new DJs, I would not rely on streaming, because the moment that streaming service stops existing, all of your music is gone. There was a thing called white label with Serato back in the day, and I got a bunch of white label tracks when they came out. But the thing about white label is if you do not stay in the subscription, then they degrade the sound quality of those tracks. I still have some white label tracks that I remember playing, and I don't want to delete them because I'm like, man, maybe one day. But they don't do white label anymore. All those tracks are useless in my library. So just be mindful of that. I usually have 2 record pools running at the same time so I can pull, and I cancel them and then try something else, and I go and I check out their backlog, see what's there. I know LNRP, Late Night Record Pool, they have a great backlog for hip hop and R&B. LNRP, Late Night Record Pool.
It's run by a dude in Illinois.
That's right? DJ CEO. He's actually he's in Springfield, Missouri.
Oh shit.
I'll actually bring him to a class because he's really dope for stuff like this.
Yeah, if you need old school hip hop and shit, they got deep crates on that.
Yeah.
For sure.
And there's also what is it? DMS has a really good backlog as well. Is it Direct Music Service? Yeah. So I would go those, and then also the hard drive swap is really like the most clutch to get up quickly. Just make friends. We have time for like one more question. Does anyone have one?
What's going on, everybody? I'm Kenny Moore. I don't really got a question. For all y'all, man, that's doing y'all thing, I just want y'all to like clap it up for yourself, because y'all heard it. A lot of people, I'm on Streets 105.1. I have a bunch of DJs all over the city that come pull up on me and they do their thing on the radio. I just want to tell y'all, they don't know when y'all fucking up. So keep going. A lot of y'all be like, oh shit, I fucked up. Oh, they can't hear it. You was bringing the song in and then match BPMs and all that. So we got excited. We listening. We like, oh, that sounded good. All right, bring it back. Try to get it together and get it and blend it together. So that's all I wanted to say. I want to make sure all of y'all don't get down on yourself. You think you fucking up or you think you ain't good enough, you're great. You're good enough. Keep trying, keep doing it, keep going.
No one else knows what you were going to do.
Nobody else knows.
Nobody knows.
I do. Anyone else have a question? Anyone else?
What's up, y'all? DJ Smart Guy. Are like mashups considered cheating? Like if you download a mashup that's like super popular.
If it is, I've been cheating like a motherfucker.
I don't think so. I think, dude, it's look like what we are doing is art. So if you're really kick ass at AI generated art, it's not art, right? Like it still is, because it still can speak to somebody. Yeah, it's generated by a computer, but you did it. You played that track at the right time. Just crossing that metaphor over. Like you picked it out. You heard it. You felt the vibe. You played that track. Whether or not you're the one that actually mixed it, it's another thing. I mean, you know, and I know a lot of you guys will pre-record shit, because sometimes doing it live is stressful. So if you pre-record it, it's still fine, right? Like you see all the time the memes on the socials of like a festival DJ, and they're just killing it, but everything's unplugged.
Yeah, nothing's on it.
Right? Like, but if you felt it, you know, if people were vibing, it's still art. You know, I think it's hard to say. So no, I don't think, dude, do what you dig, do what works for you. If that's what gets you through the day, fucking do that shit. Absolutely.
I just want to say, if anyone's up there playing and there's nothing plugged in, that is not vibing. No disrespect or anything like that. If I see somebody up there like that, I know like I'm like my back is to the stage the entire time, because nothing's going on up there. You know what I'm saying? Just want to let you know that. You know, no disrespect. We're just saying how it is. Sorry, that took my attention. Give me the question. Yeah, I've been doing this all night.
It's a mashup.
Mashups are not cheating, because mashups are dope. You know what I'm saying? If it's anything that I play out and I mash up and you want it, let me know. I will record it and send it to you. You know what I'm saying? Whenever mashups are played out, like I have DJ homies and stuff, it's been so many times like, yo, what's that? Yo, what's that? It's not like we're saying it's my mashup. You know what I'm saying? Like, I did it. Like I'll say, yo, this DJ sing. Oh, no, that's dramatic. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, check them out. They're dope. You know what I'm saying? Switch the whole sound up around St. Louis. We all don't have to sound the same. We all don't have to play the same music. If it's something dope that's a B-side that, you know what I'm saying? They have Mobama acapellas over a jazzy beat, and that's a mashup that's out. I don't know where that beat's from. I know this song. I know this sounds dope, and I just want to see what it does. And if it hits, it hits. Yeah, dude, just play that. You know what I'm saying? If it sounds good, rock it.
I came up under the dude who like kind of is known as inventing mashup. It's my man DJ Z-Trip. He was like my mentor. Dude is an OG legend now. He runs Rock the Bells Radio on XM Radio with LL. He's LL Cool J's DJ also. And that dude, like I went out there. He's been in LA Cat for years, but I went out there back in the day to Arizona when he was living there. And that's when he dropped this mixtape called Uneasy Listening with DJ P from Springfield, Missouri, actually. Look that up, because that is like the first mashup mixtape ever made. And even like Rolling Stone magazine was writing about that when they were not even writing about DJs. That was...
What's it called?
Uneasy Listening, Volume 1, DJ Z-Trip and DJ P. That was 1999. They were way ahead of their time. I know everyone's like, Girl Talk created mashup. That's bullshit. That's not true. And that dude doesn't do a damn thing live either. My boys at the pageant. Yeah, Girl Talk sound check was 3 minutes, then he went and got food. Like, yeah, okay, yeah, he's not doing nothing. But back in the day when that first started, it was like sacrilege to like play other people's mashups. And over time, if it's dope, fucking play it, who cares? You know, I mean, there's a lot of mashups that I have pre-made that I've made in my studio. I can't even pull those off live. I can't do those live, and I would never attempt them in front of a crowd and fumble, but I still want to play that. So I'm going to play my recorded version. And if people want to scoff at it, then whatever, man. Let them hate. Who cares?
Yes, I agree. I play a lot of mashups that I found on the internet. And if somebody asks about it, I go, oh, this was the one I found on SoundCloud, blah, 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 blah. But to expand on that, I also want to say that there are when I was becoming a DJ, my experience was like a lot of some OG DJs telling me, this is right, this is wrong, this is cheating. This is not cheating. If you use this, you're not a real DJ. If and let me tell y'all something. Fuck all of that shit. Fuck all of that shit. Because if I would have started with that, if I didn't get to my turntables till way, that shit is expensive. Okay? I didn't get that shit till way later down the line. So even with all the stuff we're saying, everything is unique to the individual. So find what bits and pieces that you can learn that work for you. Everything that everybody's saying up here isn't gonna work for you.
What was the question again? I forgot what the question was. Oh, mashups.
Mashups.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. So yeah, I play mashups all the time. In fact, I'm actually gonna put out an edit pack with like about 3 years of edits that I haven't put out there for real. So if you guys are interested, I'll throw that out there for you.
Thank
but
you.
yeah, I mean, technically our time's up, but does anyone have like a burning question that you want to get off real quick? All right. Shoot, we got some.
Do
it.
So as you progress in your skills, and you're like, ooh, okay, I think I want to upgrade my gear. When do you feel like it's a good time to know, like, all right, I've been using like maybe this entry controller, now I'm ready to switch up to something else. But then I'm like, is this one too advanced for me or not? But just like in general, when do you feel like it's a good time to upgrade the things that you're spending on?
I use the same shit on all my controllers. Like, if I'm buying a damn controller, okay, I know I need these buttons, these knobs, this button, this is where I plug into, this is my output. Like, you know what I'm saying? Now, it gets a little bit different when we talk about quality. Okay, I want my shit to last longer. I want to have this for a long time. Or I want to use this for a specific thing. Or maybe I want to travel. Okay, I know I need something I could travel with or whatever. But like, the rule I usually follow when it comes to anything creative I'm doing, like, for me personally, once I'm making the money to pay for that thing through what I'm doing, okay, then I buy it. You know what I'm saying? Because now I know I'm going to use it. And I know I'm using it. I'm deep in it now. I'm making money now. So now I know I'm going to use it. You know what I'm saying? So once I make the money for it, I'm going to make the purchase. And I'm going to look through all the specs. I got, like I just said earlier, I'm an anxious person. So I'm going to look at it for I'm going to look at this one for 5 minutes, and I'm going to go to the other one, look at it for 5 minutes, and I'm going to put this one in my car. And I'm like, no, but this got this one little tiny thing. I'm going to take that out and put the other one in my car. Look. Watch the little videos, get reviews, talk to other DJs, look up what brands are best, what's gonna last, just try to figure out what you need it for, what the purpose is, why am I doing this, why am I getting this, and let me make sure I get my money's worth.
Try to find somebody that has the setup you're looking for and just try it. Because honestly, there's been stuff I've looked at on the internet, and I'm kind of like, when I got on it physically, I didn't like the workflow of it at all. It didn't gel with me, it wasn't my style, and I'm like, I would have bought this blind for $2,000, and wouldn't have liked it. I'm stuck then. This is where St. Louis, and I'm really bummed out at the way that like Guitar Center has dropped the ball majorly. I went to the one in Crestwood literally a month ago. I walked in there, that DJ department was fog juice and a broken controller with no faders on it. There's nothing in there. It's a shame, because there's other places in the Midwest, like Mile High DJ Supply in Minneapolis. I used to go out there and do in-stores at their store. Beautiful, gigantic store. They have everything plugged in. You can bring your laptop in, try everything. It's beautiful. We don't have shit like that out here. It's kind of a shame. I kind of want to open a DJ store now. But coming soon, y'all. But find someone that has a similar setup and just try it before you spend your money. Like really, because again, especially if you're trying to upgrade features, like a better setup is going to have probably a better sound card, which your music overall is going to sound better. And then you get better effects, you get all this other shit. And for me, I'm really big on how are the crossfaders. I'm a scratch DJ. That's paramount for me to have really good quality faders. So it's just always, I don't know, I wouldn't roll the dice, but if you can find someone that has it, just be like, hey, come over and just try your setup.
Question on equipment. How do you know when you want to upgrade to the next level of gear? If you're like on an entry level controller, how do you know when it's a good time to jump to that next level? Spend the money, basically.
Oh, whenever, you're gigging, you're stacking bread, you know what I'm saying? Whenever you feel like it's time, go for it, you know what I'm saying? Stick to it, and when you get that, that's going to build, like, I'm not in it for the money, you know what I'm saying? The money naturally comes. I was playing out for free, you know what I'm saying? So you guys know the story. So whatever piece of equipment that you get, well, first, just stack the bread, you know what I'm saying? And whenever you can get it, if the spirit tells you to get it, and stay on it, because it's not gonna, you're not gonna learn just by being there. I've done that before. You end up buying equipment and it just sits there. You never touch it. You know what I'm saying? Like, get to know it, expand on it, get familiar with it, so you can use it. You know what I'm saying? Like, use that equipment. But yeah, stacking and whenever. Yeah, you guys got it.
I think the best time to know when to get new equipment is whenever your current equipment is limiting you from either doing your job correctly or growing. You know, that's the big one. Like, starting out on an iPad, right? Eventually you were like, fuck, I want to get better at scratching and crossfading, doing that. It's hard to do on a touchscreen. You know, it's hard to do on a cheap controller. So like, whenever you feel like you're blending, you're beat matching, and everything you can do there is there, and you've maxed everything out, maybe that's time to move up. Also, you know, if you're demanding a certain rate, you should probably bring decent stuff. You know, it's one of those things that, like, whenever it's limiting you, not only your skills and your abilities, but also your potential to earn, it's time to get rid of it. It's time to sell it. Or, you know, we have such a great community here, which, you know, as Mahf touched on, like, St. Louis sucks for our stores, right? Like, the DJ stores are non-existent. What we do have, however, and I know this from DJing, you know, trying to grow DJ businesses in other markets, our community is fucking wild. Like, the fact that we have this right here, and anywhere else I've been, has been, it's all competitive, and I'm not telling you, you know, go buy it, buy that rain for yourself, because I'm not letting you use mine. You can't see it because this is what I do. Fuck that, dude. If you want to check out any of the equipment I have, I know Chris has come to my apartment and we've looked at my console, and you know, we've talked about stuff that he has and stuff that I have, and I think he decided it wasn't for him, which is great because it's fucking expensive, and I didn't want him to spend the money and not have it. And I know that any of you guys would probably do the same. If I said, yo, I want to check out that controller, like, can I check it out? So yeah, lean on your community, and then as soon as it's getting to where you are being limited, change, and then just try shit out. Like I said, go check it out, see what you can do, see if you can see it live, do as much reading, reviews, anything like that. We live in the age of technology and information, where anything you want to know is out there. You just got to find it.
Can I add to that real quick?
Also, there's a couple of Facebook groups that are local, like Missouri-based DJ groups. Was it S4S? And there's another one where there's people constantly just, hey, I'm throwing shit up there like every other day. Like, hey, I'm selling this. Anybody interested? It's used, but I mean, that's a good entry point where you're not spending full price. You can get a $2,000 rig for $800 or something. That's not a bad investment. So I think you need to be invited into those. But was it Kaizen runs that one? Yeah, dude from the Ozarks. I can add you to it. But I was gonna say we should add all of them. They should be in there because especially you're the guys that really need the gear right now. You should be seeing all those deals. And there's people trading lighting rigs, sound, all kinds of shit on there. So it's a really good entry point for real.
Can I steal that back? Yeah, of course. If anyone needs a speaker, I've got a couple. So anyway, yeah. All right. I think we've got next question.
Sorry, it's really more of a, do y'all feel me? So I DJ at an event, the Zoo. And it's a great event. Like, I was so excited. I was on stage. I'm a baby DJ, so I was just grateful for the experience. And then afterwards, I was like on the go-kart, and people were like, you did such a good job. And I feel like I messed up several times, but like I said, I can't tell. The question is, do you ever feel like you want to cry? I'm sad because I wanted to cry. I felt very emotional, very drained, and like almost sad. Even though the experience was like amazing and I should be happy, I felt like sad. I wanted to cry. And I'm just wondering if y'all experienced that, like starting, maybe not now, I know y'all like the game, but is that a normal feeling?
It's not. Nothing you're going to feel is going to be unnormal. I guarantee somebody's felt it.
All the time.
Well, okay, so were you sad that you didn't, did you skip a song you didn't want, you wanted to play, or did you just, were you sad that it was over, or just overwhelmed? Overwhelmed?
Because like a lot of people, and I felt alone. Because like, I didn't have anybody there, like you were saying, through family and friends. Right. Nobody was there afterwards, like I didn't realize how crucial that is to like have people there. So maybe it's overwhelmed. I don't know.
You can get that way. Like it's it's a cool thing. This is the coolest fucking job I think I could have. Like some people would absolutely hate being in front of others, and I don't know. I'm a psychopath, I guess, as we all are, and we love it. So yeah, unite. But no, I think it can definitely overwhelm me because you're up there and you are pouring everything, every part of you, and it's so vulnerable too, because especially if you do any mic work and you're pouring out and you're pulling these decisions and you're putting yourself out there, and they are not at all, right? Like if they're dancing, maybe, but especially at something like the zoo where like it might just be hanging out. It's draining and it's hard, and you work and you work and you work, and sometimes it's thankless. But then there's other times where after an event, sometimes if the crowd's feeling it and you're there and you had a banger and it's one where you've put it on your Instagram highlight reels, like you might sit in the car and you're just like almost like overwhelmed, but also very like grateful. Like, what the fuck? How is this me, right? Like, I think anyone up here is going to feel that for sure. Where you've sat in the car afterwards and you're like, wow, like just like decompress. No, I don't think you're crazy for that at all, and I think that's thank you for asking that. I think that's very a brave question to ask. Like, do you ever just cry? Like all the time? Absolutely.
Yeah, like I feel, well, a lot of different emotions are gonna run through you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's been times that I played out and things went good with like at home. You know what I'm saying? I'm going through a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's therapeutic for real. Like a lot of my, like all energy is a negative energy, but there are some energies that, you know what I'm saying, like anger. Being sad, all that type of stuff, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes, like, I pour out through the way that I play my music and stuff like that. So a lot of different emotions are going through you, so a lot of different emotions go through me afterwards, too. Sometimes I'm happy, sometimes I'm sad, then I hit that, no, I didn't hit it the way I was supposed to, no one really realized, like, all these type of thoughts go through my head and stuff, but you just gotta know, you did just do that, you know what I'm saying? Like, no one said anything negative to you, was that your first time playing out with like no one that you knew around and stuff like that? Yeah, so that's a different type of vibe, you know what I'm saying? You can't feel lonely, and you gotta know, like, whenever you're up there, you are a superstar, you know what I'm saying?
I feel like you can be your own worst enemy, too. I mean, you can prep for days for that one particular event, and then it's just not what you expected, or it didn't go the way your set didn't go the way it was when you were DJing in your bedroom or whatever. You know, it's just one of those things where I would just learn from that and just kind of build off of it, but don't be like, it's the end all be all, I'm never gonna get booked again, they're not gonna use me again. Like someone mentioned it earlier, most of the crowd at events like that where everyone's kind of chilling and just kind of hanging out and socializing, they're not hearing transition, like mess ups in the transitions or little tiny things like, oh man, I didn't bring this track in the right speed, or I was a little off or whatever. Most of the people aren't really hearing that. That's a whole other thing. So it's like you're in your own head a little bit. Just wipe that clean, look towards the future, the next gig, and just build on it. You'll be all right.
For a lot of these events, most of them are drunk.
No, for real. Motherfuckers be drunk. They don't know what's going on. They don't know what's going on. But that is so true. Like, people have no fucking idea. They like, did the music keep going? Okay, good. You know, that's all they're really worried about. When it comes to crying, let me tell you, I'm a moody girl, all right? So sometimes I'm up there, I start off beginning of the night, I'm just like, I'm just gonna have both my headphones on. I don't want anybody to talk to me, I just wanna do me, you know? But then throughout the night, I might get my energy up, you know, people give me energy at the end of the night, you know, having a good time after that. But yeah, you go through a bunch of different emotions, like you said, anger, it happens, you know what I'm saying? Like somebody come up and request a song, like, oh, they threw my shit up, you know? But like one thing that occurs for me a lot is, well, also I'm like slightly introverted, so sometimes I just don't have it. I just don't got it. Like, you know, you done gigs all weekend, you done saw crowds and crowds of people. I just want to go home and be in fucking silence. I don't want to see anybody. I don't want to talk to anybody. That's why I said earlier, don't text me. You know what I mean? Like, text me, yeah, but I might not answer back right away. You know what I'm saying? But there's times like where you're at this gig and you're the hype, you're the superstar, and then I go home, it's 3 a.m. Nobody's in the streets, it's dark as fuck, it's quiet as fuck, and then you sit there and you're just like, it's very much. It's a performance. It's a performance. So you might get some post-show blues every now and then, or like the energy was high, the endorphins. They, ooh. You get at the end of the night, you there with your midnight snack that you know, and it's just you in a dark room. Okay, so yeah, it's an emotional thing. So yeah, it's gonna happen. And fuck, even if you did fuck up and somebody heard it, fuck them. What they gonna do? What they gonna do? You gonna come tell me I messed up to my face? Then fuck it. Don't say shit.
Yeah, they're not paying you at the end of the night anyway, so fuck them. I just want to say too, I'm pretty sure most of us and most people that DJ on the regular have all had those nights where the silent drive home at 3 in the morning. Just no radio, no nothing, just gripping the steering wheel, just the lights. Like you're just done, you're burnt, your ears are torched, you're just like, nah, man, I'm out.
Yeah. I'm not even gonna add anything. That was well said. But let's hear it for our panel. DJ Nico, DJ Mahf, DJ VThom, we met Cuddy here earlier. As always, I appreciate you all for coming out and getting this knowledge and participating in the workshops. Hope to see you guys again.
Thank you, Chris Brown. You're the fucking best. Give it up for Chris Brown.
Shout out to my man, DJ Whiz, one time, come on. Give it up for Nene and Sophie's.
Is the seltzer offer still open?
Yes.
And if you are in attendance, you get a free 4 hands or... 4 hands, or mighty kind products, 4 rounds. Yeah.